backstage of the VH1 studio was buzzing, but not just from the soft hum of lighting and camera rigs. There was a storm brewing, and it wasn't on the weather radar. It was emotional, it was personal, and it had a name: Bambi inside her private dressing room. Bambi sat in silence, but the world outside her door wasn't quiet. Her phone trembled constantly from the chaos online. Thousands of notifications poured in: DMs, story tags, hateful comments, and memes. It was like being dragged by the entire internet in real time. And the worst part? It was all centered around one thing: the leaked DNA report. Her reflection stared back at her from the mirror, but it was barely recognizable. Eyes red from crying, lips trembling, her foundation cracking like her pride. She didn't just feel exposed, she felt ambushed. And it wasn't just about the baby anymore, it was about her whole name. Her brand, her trust, everything was unraveling. The echo of Tasha K's voice from that viral livestream replayed in her mind over and over like a cruel loop she couldn't escape. Tasha hadn't just gone live, she'd gone for blood. She aired everything with no warning, no conversation, no consent. And now, Bambi was the face of shame across every blog. She stood up from her seat like she'd been possessed. Her breathing was shallow, chest tight. She wasn't just angry, she was shattered. She stomped through the hallway in towering heels like a queen going to war. The crew stepped aside. No one said a word, but the tension was thick enough to choke. She had one destination, one target. And that target was laughing in the green room like she hadn't just burned someone's entire life down. Tasha K stood mid-conversation with a producer, sipping water, completely unbothered. But that calm cracked when the door flew open and Bambi charged in like a storm. Everyone froze, phones were pulled out without shame. The whisper of producers, headsets buzzed like bees, and then Bambi let loose, voice sharp and soaked in venom. You think this is funny? You think ruining someone's life makes you a hero? Her fists were clenched so hard her knuckles turned white. Tasha K turned slowly, unimpressed, setting her bottle down and giving Bambi a condescending once-over. "Sweetheart," she said with a smirk, "I didn't ruin your life, I exposed it. If the truth destroyed you, maybe it was built on lies in the first place." Gasps, a crew member called for security. But it was too late. Bambi stepped closer, chest heaving. "You didn't ask me. You didn't give me a chance. You just went live and made me a joke, my son, my family, my whole life. This was never your story to tell." Tasha straightened her spine and replied coldly, "You buried the truth. I dug it out, that's the difference. I gave people what they deserved, honesty. Something you clearly struggle with." Suddenly, Spice burst through the door. She'd heard the yelling from down the hall. She grabbed Bambi's arm, trying to pull her back. "Girl, don't do this. Don't give them more fuel. Don't make this worse than it already is." But Bambi was locked in. Her eyes were wild, voice trembling with rage and hurt. "You made me a villain. You made my son a hashtag. You think that's journalism?" she screamed. Tasha K didn't flinch. "I think lies destroy families more than cameras do. And Scrappy, he deserved the truth before he wasted more time loving someone who wasn't honest with him." That hit Bambi like a bullet. Her voice cracked as she shouted back, "You don't know what I've sacrificed. You don't know the pain I've swallowed just to protect people." She was crying now. Her mascara ran like melted armor. "You made this into a circus. And now my life's a punchline." The cameras rolled quietly, but the damage was loud. Phones recorded everything. Producers were whispering frantically, and still, Tasha remained calm. "No one asked you to lie," she said. "No one asked you to play Scrappy like that. You did that. I just held up a mirror." That was when Bambi lunged. Security immediately stepped in, but she got inches from Tasha's face, fire in her eyes. "I will not let you in," she spat. Tasha smirked again. "You already lost." Outside the door, chaos was erupting. EricaMena, Rashidah, and Sierra watched the scene unfold. Erica held up her phone, recording the mess with a quiet "told y'all this day was coming." Inside, Spice and security were dragging Bambi back, but she was screaming, "You want a war, Tasha? Then you got one. If I go down, I'm taking you with me." The door slammed shut behind her. Tasha K stood still, arms crossed, eyes locked on the camera lens. She should have thought about that before lying to a man who gave her everything, she said, her voice smooth but sharp. That clip would go viral within the hour. The bloggers were already on it. And then came Mama D. She arrived unannounced, earlier than expected, phone in hand, and a look of disgust on her face. Someone had already sent her the footage. She shook, her head, lips tight. "Now the world sees who Bambi really is," she whispered. Meanwhile, in the hallway, Bambi collapsed into a chair, a complete mess. Her hair was ruined, her face streaked, her voice hoarse from yelling. Spice sat beside her, trying to comfort her, but the moment was bigger than either of them. "They think I'm evil," Bambi sobbed. "They think I'm heartless." Spice ran her hand down Bambi's arm and replied softly, "You lied, sis. That don't make you evil, but trying to hide it, especially with Tasha, that's where you messed up. She doesn't play fair, and she never loses." Bambi's phone buzzed again. Another notification, a private number. She declined it a second. Later, a message popped up, "You made your bed. Now lie in it." She stared at the screen, fury returning. "I'm going to fix this," she whispered. "I don't care what it takes." The hallway lights flickered above her like a bad omen, and then she stood up. Her jaw was set, her voice calm. "Tasha wants a war. She's got one." Across the city, the fire was already burning. Every blog had picked up the story. Hollywood Unlocked, The Neighborhood Talk, Spiritual Word, they all ran it. Different filters, same headline, **** Bambi explodes on Tasha K, DNA bombshell. Shakes Love and Hip Hop. The video was everywhere. The angles, the audio, the screaming. It was impossible to escape, and Scrappy, he hadn't said a word. Not a post, not a story, not a text. His silence was louder than any gossip blog. It was like he disappeared into the shadows, leaving Bambi to burn alone. She sat in her apartment watching it all unfold, her body curled up on the couch. Her PR rep was begging her to issue a statement. Her manager said go quiet, but Bambi just stared at herself on screen, watching her world fall apart frame by frame. The hashtags were brutal. #Bama lied, #Scrappy deserved better, #Tasha UNBOTHERED, #DNA Gate. Her name was everywhere, but not in the way she wanted. She scrolled endlessly, praying for something kind, something understanding, but the internet had made up its mind. She wasn't the victim. She was the villain. Then the doorbell rang. She flinched, her nerves shot. She opened it slowly and there was Spice, arms crossed, looking like a sister who'd come to say, "I told you so." She walked in without asking, "Told you she doesn't play fair," she said, sitting down. "The whole internet's eating you alive, and you still don't have a plan?" Bambi wiped her eyes, voice low. "What plan is left? Everyone thinks I'm a snake. Even Scrappy won't look at me." Spice leaned in. "Then make them look, go live, tell your side. Drop your own receipts, don't let Tasha write your ending." Bambi hesitated. "If I go live," she said slowly, "it won't be to explain. It'll be to expose." Spice's eyebrows shot up. "Expose who?" Bambi's eyes narrowed. "The one behind the camera this whole time. Tasha wants to pretend she's clean, but I know better. I know things too." And just like that, the spark returned. Not hope, not peace, but war. Across town, Tasha K was already sitting in her home studio, untouched by the chaos she created. Her glam team worked quietly, curling her hair and blotting her makeup while she scrolled through her buzzing notifications. Her eyes didn't flinch. The internet was screaming her name, and she was letting it. A producer entered the room, holding a stack of papers. "She's going live in 15 minutes, they whispered. Tasha didn't blink. Let her. She said, calm as ever. She was ready. She wasn't worried because in her mind, the truth would always win. But this time, Bambi wasn't coming to cry. She wasn't going live to defend herself. She was going live to fight, to expose. And at exactly 7:03 p.m., she hit that button. Her face was bare, no makeup, no lashes, no filter, just swollen eyes. And pure fury. I'm not here to apologize, she began, her voice low but firm. I'm not here to win sympathy, I'm here to set fire to the lies, even the ones I told myself. The view count shot up by the hundreds, then thousands. Love and hip-hop fans, haters, cast members, bloggers, everyone tuned in. She continued, I didn't lie to hurt people. I lied because I didn't trust anyone with the truth. And now, I see that maybe I was right not to. She pulled out her phone. You'll want receipts? She asked, her hands shaking slightly. Let me show you how deep this goes. She tapped through messages, emails, texts. She showed screenshots conversations between her and Tasha K. Some of them were blurred out to protect names, but the message was clear. Tasha had once begged her for an exclusive, promised protection, promised control. She told me if I didn't cooperate, she'd get the story another way, Bambi said. I said no, and a week later, she did exactly what she threatened. The comment section exploded. #BambiFightsBack started trending within minutes. Fans were stunned. Even people who had dragged Bambi began rethinking things. I'm not saying I'm innocent, she admitted, her voice cracking. But I'm saying I didn't deserve to be crucified for a mistake. I was still trying to understand myself. She ended the live without tears, without a breakdown, just silence, the kind of silence that said, I'm not done. But Tasha K wasn't about to let that slide. Hours later, she uploaded a full-length response video fully edited, dramatic intro, background music, and everything. Let me make something clear, she said, facing the camera. I didn't come for Bambi, I came for the truth, and the truth showed up with paperwork. You can't lie about a baby's father, drag a man through hell, and expect no consequences. That's not how this works. She flipped through her own stack of screenshots, showing her side of the messages. Yes, I reached out, she confirmed. Yes, I asked for a quote, but when you dodge and deny and run, that's when I go to work. That's when I find the answers myself. Her tone never shifted, calm, measured, ruthless. She wants to say, I play dirty? Fine, but what do you call lying to someone for a year? What do you call making a man believe he's a father when he's not? She leaned into the camera. You don't get to be the victim and the villain. Pick one. That clip alone earned millions of views. And with every hour, more creators jumped in, YouTubers made reactions. TikTokers lip-synced the most savage lines. One viral edit featured Bambi's scream overlaid with dramatic music as Tasha K's calm response echoed like a judge handing down a sentence. Meanwhile, Mama D went live again, champagne in hand, lashes curled, dressed like she was heading to the BET Awards. Let me tell y'all something, she said to over 40,000 viewers. My son gave that woman everything. His heart, his name, his loyalty, and she played him like a joke. So no, I don't feel bad. Not one bit. She clinked her glass against the phone camera and smiled. This is what accountability looks like. And still, Scrappy said nothing. His silence was heavy. And for Bambi, that silence hurt more than the comments, more than the blogs. It was rejection without words. Then came the post that changed everything. Late that night, after all the noise, after all the shouting, Scrappy finally posted. A plain black screen, no caption, no emoji. Just one sentence in white letters. Tomorrow, my truth, no edits, no filters. The comments section erupted. Fans lost it, the cast panicked, producers scrambled. Bambi dropped her phone in disbelief. Tasha K paused mid-recording. Mama D smiled like she already knew what was coming. The next day, at exactly noon, Scrappy went live. No intro, no music, no flashy production, just him in his car, raw and Heartbroken, "This ain't for clicks," he said, his voice heavy. "This ain't for y'all to pick sides. This is for me. Because I need to heal, and I can't do that while people keep lying on my name." He didn't yell, he didn't cry, but his pain was all over his face. "I love that woman," he whispered. "I would have died for her. I believed her. I believed that baby was mine, and finding out it wasn't?" He paused, swallowing his emotion. "That shattered me." Across the city, Bambi watched through blurred eyes. She couldn't breathe, couldn't blink. She replayed his words over and over, hoping one time he'd say, "But I forgive you." But he never did. And then came the final headline that broke her spirit. Scrappy moves out, leaves Atlanta home shared with Bambi. Photos showed moving trucks outside their gated home. Mama D stood outside the house with her arms crossed like a general. The caption said it all: "He's finally free." That image made it real. Bambi collapsed to the floor, sobbing, her phone still playing the live in the background. She had lost everything, and there was no saving it now. No publicist could clean this up. No manager could spin it. The fans didn't want an apology, they wanted retribution. And Tasha K had already poured the first cup. In one last desperate attempt, Bambi texted Scrappy, just one line, "Please, can we talk?" The message was marked delivered, then read, but no reply ever came. That silence screamed louder than anything else. But it wasn't over. Hours later, Mama D logged on once again, dressed like royalty, makeup glowing. "Let me be clear," she said, voice sharp, "ain't no more second chances, ain't no more fake tears." Scrappy gave his all, and she spit in his face. "So y'all can miss me with the sympathy tour." The comment section went wild. "Tell it, Mama D." She never liked Bambi anyway. Give Mama D her own show. Just like that, the power shifted again. Bambi was no longer in control of her story. Tasha K, Scrappy, and Mama D were running the narrative now. Even Spice reposted Mama D's video with a fire emoji. EricaMena dropped a comment with laughing faces. "Play stupid games, win viral consequences." The fallout wasn't just online. VH1 insiders started whispering. "We can't film with Bambi anymore," one anonymous producer told a gossip blogger. "The energy is toxic. Every scene turns into chaos. Cast don't feel safe." It wasn't. Long before the rumors turned into facts, that same week, VH1 quietly removed Bambi from the main cast list. Meanwhile, Scrappy was offered his own solo healing journey arc. And Tasha K? She landed her own spin-off miniseries titled Truth Bombs with Tasha K. The message was loud and clear. Bambi's reign was over. But before she disappeared entirely, she went live one last time. No glam, no filters. Just her, a dim room, and her truth. "I know y'all don't believe me," she began, her voice raw. "I lied, I messed up, I let fear ruin everything. But I'm still human, I still feel, and this hate? It's too much." Her voice cracked as she added, "I lost my relationship, my career, my peace, and maybe I deserve that. But I don't deserve to be dehumanized. I don't deserve to be." Erased for a moment, the comments softened, some hearts, some support. But the harsh ones still came through. "Too little, too late. Should have kept it real from the start." She wiped her face and sighed. "I'm logging off. I don't know when I'll be back. But I won't come back as this version of me because she's dead." The screen faded to black. Backstage, the producers met in silence. The show had changed forever. The Bambi era had ended not with closure, but with consequences. Her name would be remembered, but not for her fashion, her confessionals, or her romance. She'd become the cautionary tale, the warning. A living example that in reality TV, every lie becomes content, every secret turns into currency, and every betrayal gets streamed, especially when Tasha K is holding the